right?
Yes.
We're ending this chapter today graphing two of these and finding where they cross. Are these called equations?
No.
They're not called equations, but what are they called? These are called inequalities because they don't have equal signs. They have these things. Okay? Graphing an equation and graphing an equality is almost exactly the same, but these things, remember, if your symbol looks like this, you're going to dash the line, but if it has the line underneath it, you make it a solid line. Okay? So this is a graphing inequality review. We didn't do much of these. I think we spent one day graphing these before. Hopefully you got this far. Hope I'm not passing you by now. Everybody drew the X and the Y. Okay, so this one, I'm going to focus, these are two different problems because we're still in systems. I'm going to focus on this one. I begin at 0, 1. So here's where I begin. My beginning point at 1 on the up and down guy. And then I'm going to move up 3 over 1. This is the slope. 1, 2, 3 over 1. 1, 2, 3 over 1. And this time I get to graph in a little more interesting way. I get to use dash lines because it doesn't say equals, it says y is less than. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is what y is less than 3x plus 1 looks like. That's the boundary line. Who's got a question so far? So I heard somebody say shading. Who said that? You got it. So this requires shading because if it was equal to, I would say, well, this is just this one line perfectly. But this says y is everything that's less than. So if I have to somehow have a visual of everything that's less than, mathematicians decided that they would just color in everything less than. So you put your pencil on the y-axis because this says y. You go to the y-axis, put your pencil here on the dot, on the y, and you color less than because that says y is less than. Color down from that dot on the y-axis. Y is less than means color down. What do you mean on this side? This thing over here? Okay, so because it's a system, we're gonna graph this other one on that same graph. So we're not gonna just have one exact point where the lines cross. We're gonna have like a whole colored in area where the colored ins cross. So start at 3 this time. Begin at 3 and go down 2 over 1. So I'll begin here. Here's my beginning dot. Down 2 over 1. Everything's looking a little crazy. I'm having to go into this coloring part. That's okay. This time the little line's there, so I'm not dashing. I'm doing a whole solid, nice solid blue line. I'm gonna wait a minute. In case I got heavy. Coloring. I think that hurts from blue lines. Cross curricular. learn graphing better from an art teacher. They would probably say it's all blue sky or something really artistic. I would like to have different shading of different colors. Oh, I just teacher talks. Okay. This one says y is greater than. So for greater, I shade up. So I'm gonna put my pencil on 3 on the y, the blue one, blue 3, and I'm gonna color up since y is greater than. And I end up coloring this whole side. And this looks like scribble scrabble, but it's not. And what we have is a really awesome visual representation of all the solutions for the system. Everything that's colored red and blue, I could pick any point in there, and the point would be true for the top one, and it'll be true for the bottom one. So this visual shows us lots of information. Questions on number 1. Okay. Number 2, the lines are actually easier to graph, but we forget how to do it, making it more difficult. Look, there's less numbers here. It's actually easier. So you just gotta, it's almost memorization instead of application, and students just forget how to do this all the time. Can you remember? So I know how to start. I have to start with a coordinate plane. Alright, so you got a question. I gotta put a dot on 5 for the first one. And it's x. X is 5. Is that 5 right here? No. This is the y-axis. So I am not gonna put it here. If this is an x and a 5, it has to go on the x-axis. So my dot goes here. Only because on that top line there is no y. I put it here. And it's not just a dot, because we're not graphing on a number line. We're graphing here. So I show a full line through x equals 5. It's a dashed line, but any point on this dashed line, the x coordinate is 5. So this is what x equals 5 looks like. Since it's less than, I'm going to put my pencil here and I'm going to color all the x's lower than 5. So it goes on forever that way. Every value less than 5 on the x-axis. Now I'm going to wait and see if you can figure out how to do the y. The y is just opposite. Shayla, what are you doing? Not ready for Monday? What the fuck? You want to move up? You can move up. Man, I'm gonna handle a lot of you. Go ahead. Read it up. Yeah. Can you read this out loud? Why what? the alligators, the bigger one. So y is greater. So which way would show y going bigger? Sometimes you just need to go back to the old alligator mouth. This is y is greater. The alligator's eating the y, so the y is bigger. So I'll come down to -4 on y. This time it's a solid line. Are they though? Like how many though? Like a lot of people? Like a lot? More than poisonous spiders?
Yes.
Alligators kill more people than spiders. More than snakes? See, you don't know. We don't know. You're just guessing.
They're the same. No, they're about the same.
How dangerous are they?
We live in Florida, so alligators. We live in Florida, and people are stupid, so alligator kills are a lot.
Well, they're crocodiles. We're just seeing that. I need numbers. I need facts. I don't believe people's opinions.
Wow.
I don't. Everyone's got an opinion. You're easily influenced by video. I'd like to hear some numbers.
The crocodiles are 72 dangerous animals in Asia. In Asia. Yeah. That's not here. Yeah, but they're still,
I mean, this
that's
is.
a whole different continent.
No,
They still live in
also in Asia, don't people like? I don't want to sound stupid, but don't they like farm in water?
Yeah.
But in Florida,
So if you're working in water, that's a whole different thing than what we're doing here.
Florida, you see the gator, brain goes ching.
Solutions are red and blue. So all of the points in the red and blue areas show solutions that are true for this system. Okay? So this reviews undefined lines and zero slopes. It reviews mx plus b, it reviews shading and inequalities. There's so much in these two problems that we're reviewing.
The other two numbers. Yes. The left one. I understand the one where it goes.
So this is how you get the pattern for the line. This is your pattern number. So I started at 1, and I counted from here. I counted up 3. 1, 2, 3. And then over 1. And then I did it again. 1, 2, 3, over 1. Okay? So this is the pattern, and it's called M. You can think about M as like a movement. It's how you move from your starting point. I'm going to move up and over a number. And this time it was 3. Okay? So if you want to write down on your paper right now, this, and say M is the movement up and over, that might help you remember it. Who else has an awesome question in the room? Okay. I assigned you 1 through 9. 7, 8, 9 were extra challenging. When I walk around, I'm expecting to see some people quit around number 4. Yeah. Okay. I expect some people really did all 9, and that's awesome. If you did not try any, as I walk around, you're working on number 6. I think 6 was a good one to do. Let me look. Yeah, everybody.
No, I did like half.
All right, 6. Everybody's working on number 6. If you did not do it yet, right now do number 6. I'm going to do it with you to review it. Okay? My hope is that you all did it on your own. If you did, that you are easily benefiting the most from this. Great job. If you didn't, I still want to see you try them. Do number 6 while I walk around so you're not just sitting there talking.
What am I doing wrong in this part?
No, you see how the equal sign is here and here? They're not stacked up. And this is called substitution. So I want you to take that y out and put all of that in.
Okay. Next week.
Did I say right now to do 7 or 6?
No, that's lookable. What should I go my hair off? It's only 5 points. Unless they start to keep it up, I'm keeping it. Unless they start to like bump up the.
Here I go. Number 6. Here we go. This is called substitution. Substitution means you gotta replace something. I'm putting a substitute in. You take one thing out and put a substitution in. Alright, so I'm really hoping that you got 1, 2, 3 done on your own. Okay? Even 4. So I'm hoping that you put some effort into this. Here's number 6. I love how you're describing that because well, do you feel like you've seen number 1 before in your life? Oh, okay.
Wait. Yeah.
Okay, what about number 2? What about number 3?
No.
Love it. So what you're seeing is that so this was my assignment for our 3rd day doing this. And so the equations can really be arranged anyway, right? So what you're seeing is as the problems progress, they're challenging you with the equations ordered differently. Okay? So number 6, well, on 1, 2, and 3, you have x equals or y equals as the top equation. And on number 6, it's on the bottom. So this tells me what y is. And in all of our examples, when it said what y's or x's, it was the top equation. So I know that y is negative x minus 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the y out of the top. And I'm going to put negative x minus 2 in. And what looks different is that we've been taking something out of the bottom and plugging the top in, right? I don't know if you're following me at all. But that's what's different from this one, from maybe numbers 1, 2, and 3. So when I rewrite the top this time, I have 3x. I have a plus sign. I'm not going to write y. I'm going to put this expression in because it's the same thing. I still have an equal sign, and I still have a 12. Write this down if you haven't yet. Yeah, how close were you? I really hope that you attempted this. Even if you made a mistake, I hope you tried. Um,
So blatant.
mm, mhm. So, what's 3x plus a negative x? 2x. 3x take away 1x is 2x. Still have a minus 2, still have an equal sign, still have a 12. We're solving this equation. I got 3x equals. Thank you. I was gonna say that's not gonna work out nicely. 2x equals 14. Now I'll divide. X equals CSA. Lucky number 7. Are we done, Cameron? No. Don't stop. You have to find why. Right? We don't stop. The whole chapter, you don't stop. You gotta find y and x in every problem, no matter what you're doing. So we're gonna put 7 into the top equation for y. And now we have to solve again. Really 2 problems in one, if not more. There are videos about this posted on Khan Academy. I gave you.
Yeah, you have to put the 7 in for x. You have to multiply it.
I put it in for y. Make sure if you have an x equals 7 that you take the x out, not the y like I just did. Minus 21 from both sides. And that's where the negative 9 comes from. Sorry about that. So we could have graphed these equations and find where they crossed, and they would have crossed here. Or you can do a substitution. Should we do another one? Okay. So you guys have a test on Wednesday. It's a chapter 5 test. Let's talk about that for a minute. So it's in 2 days. You have a chapter 5 test. After that, we're going to spend the next 5 days reviewing for your exam. So we covered 5 chapters. So what we're going to be reviewing for 5 days, we're going to review chapter 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it's about a chapter a day that we'll review before your midterm exam. Third period's midterm exam is on Monday, December 20th. I have it written on the corner there. It's a curved exam. It's more. It's 30. Yeah, it's 30%. It is curved. It's curved. It's curved by the county. The county curves it. You can pass. You can pass getting roughly half of the questions right. You can still pass. You're hoping to get a minimum of half right. Really, really good. You get a 70 on it? Did you have a C in the first quarter? So it all averages you guys be quiet. Your first quarter, your second quarter, and your exam all average together. So if you got if you got a B first quarter, a C second quarter, and a B on exam, you have a good chance of getting a B overall. Colleges only see the overall. Colleges don't see quarter 1, quarter 2 exam. They see the overall average, everything mixed together. If you fail, it depends how much you fail by. Let's say you get a 0. I have to do the math, but it'll bring you down very low, like a D. Yeah. Right. Yeah. They're not gonna let you go through with a D. You don't want to do that. Okay. Anyway, long story short, just do your best. It is curved. We're gonna review, but this test Wednesday that I'm making for this chapter is gonna be really challenging. For that reason. What'd she say? Yeah. Yeah, they are all really difficult. So I know the expectation for the exam, the end of course exam that you have to pass, and I make tests to mirror that. So if I see like an average of like a 60 on a test, that's actually better than average on like an end of course exam. So like I'm really challenging you guys so that you understand expectation throughout the year. I don't want to give you easy tests all year and then come to a really hard exam. Like that doesn't make sense. Okay. So well, anyway, what I am going to do, which doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, is if you guys do this review assignment, I'm going to let you use it on the test. Yeah. Not a note card, this exact assignment, not your whole notebook and not the textbook, just whatever you accomplish on this assignment, I'm going to let you use during the test. The reason I'm doing that is because I want you guys to remember this content after Christmas. I want you to remember it all the way to May. And I think if you're motivated to spend time on the assignment and then you're looking at that assignment while you're doing test questions, I think that's going to become a part of your memory. So I'm going to let you do that. So let's get started. Open your textbooks to page 379.